Corsair Carbide 400C mid-tower enclosure review. Ladies and gentlemen, mid-tower enclosure, very large window, black.
Very.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, as far as cases with windows goes, it is a very understated window. I love the fact that it's practically the full entire side of the case. It is subtle. Sebastian, who wrote the review up at PC Pro, refers to it as understated. Does not offer the noise dampening of the Q, but that is okay. 2 3.5-inch drive bays, 3 2.5-inch drive bays, 7 expansion slots, mini ITX, micro ATX, ATX, eATX. Should you be one of the 8 people who bought an eATX motherboard in the last few months? 2 USB 3.0 ports, microphone, headphone, fan mounts, 320 or 2 140 at top, are at the front, 2 120 or 140 at the top, 1 120 millimeter fan in the rear. It includes a single 120 at the rear and a 140 millimeter fan at the front. 360 millimeter radiator will fill at the front, 240 millimeter radiator at the top, 120 millimeter or a small radiator at the rear. Standard ATX power supply, 370, basically a 8.5-inch, 370 millimeters GPU maximum.
Yep.
The $99. Nice looking case. Nice looking case, and looks like it was fairly easy to build inside of, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, I'm a big fan of the way this case looks. We actually got in its bigger brother, the 600C, that was out a little while ago, in for one of our VR builds. Yeah.
14.5-inch GPUs, not 8-inch. 370 millimeter is a 14.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah. 10.5 is like reference speed. Yeah. So yeah, the big brother is very similar, except it's it actually rotates the system. Is it 180 degrees? I think it might be 100. It's 180 degrees. It rotates it inside the system. Wait, no, 90. Now I can't see the case from here, so I'm not sure. But the 400C is a typical kind of mounting system for it in there, and it really is very, very similar looking. It's just a little bit smaller. I do like that window. I think last night on our podcast I called it the Infinity window because it reminds me of like the branding that they would use on the Dell XPS 13 Infinity Edge display. Very nice. The build quality on it is pretty good, according to Sebastian. The doors kind of come off real easily as well, which is a nice touch for when you got it on the side and you're working on it. You don't have to worry about the doors getting in the way. And for $100, I think it's a $99 case. The build quality and building materials is actually pretty good. Corsair has, they've pretty much run the gamut of case designs at this point, right? Like I feel like if you go from the 900D down to like the Bulldog home theater PC system that they've been showing for a while, but will actually be launching this year, they will basically have one of everything. There's no way you could possibly have a case requirement that they wouldn't have a solution for. But there's a lot of neat stuff about this case that help it stand out for $99. For people looking for new builds.